might be hard to watch for me and you.
Could be. Goblins not really going to be able to stop Hypergenesis.
Or Grizzlebrand, or
fight
Emrakul,
with anything that comes out from Hypergenesis.
or anything that Todd's deck does. But, no worry. With a little bit of confidence, we might be able to get the job done.
Maelstrom Wanderer is 7/5 for 5 colorless, a green, a red, and a blue. And it's got Cascade, Cascade, so double Cascade there. Creatures you control have haste. I think that's the most relevant part.
Okay. Well, the game has already started. We've got Goblins, and we've got... Yeah, we've got Goblins, and we've got ourselves a little show and tell action. Vial is the ideal start for the Goblins deck, and there's a Mogg War Marshal as well, so...
So, Chase Ballard with a pretty good start for Goblins.
The Goblins deck that I'm looking at, it's a little bit unique. You're going to find some cards that you don't normally see in here, like Goblin Flectomancer, which is a card I haven't seen since like 2007.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And that was actually a really cool way to go about winning the Magnivore Mirror back in the day, to deflect a compulsive research or demolish or a stone rain. And it's just red, red, blue, 2/2. Sacrifice it, you can change the target of target instant or sorcery spell. So he has two of those in well that can kind of sneak through an Aether Vial and mess some things up.
So Todd fetches an island off of his Scalding Tarn. Looks like he's casting Show and Tell off of a Gorilla Spirit Guide or whatever.
It's a Simian Spirit
Simian Spirit Guide.
Joey,
yeah.
you show me yours, I'll show you mine.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Show and Tell. I mean, I've got this. There you go. It's it looks like it's water versus Crimson Cup.
Yep, and I've got coffee.
I've got Pure Life.
I think I win.
I've got Nestle Pure Life water there. So okay, they're upgrading Goblin tokens there.
Yeah,
to the Star City.
They have to have
Goblin
the Star City token. Come on, guys. Let's keep it official here.
And Show and Tell. So Chase says I have Goblin, whatever mother.
He's a Goblin Matron.
Matron, yeah. Why can't I think of the names of these cards today? I'm like,
because you haven't had enough coffee yet.
It might be that.
The coffee's in me, and I am very intimately familiar with Goblins as well. So
like Goblin Brood Mother? That doesn't sound
That's
right.
not a thing.
No. Goblin Matron. Tutoring up a Goblin. And Todd has Progenitus, that's all.
Yeah,
just
he tutored up a Goblin Pile Driver, which is actually kind of cool because it's actually able to get through Progenitus. Can't block it, of course, because you can't block Progenitus, but if he gets himself in a race situation, it's a way to win the race that people don't see coming.
Aether Vial ticks up to 2. Chase gonna...
No Echo on the War Marshal.
Yeah,
he had already untapped and moved up the counter.
Gets another Goblin out of that War Marshal.
Yeah, he should have another Goblin. Yeah, he has another Goblin token, but that one's going to be summoning sick. Now, if he has a land and a Goblin War Chief, then he would actually be able to potentially win the race, but it doesn't look like he's going to have that.
Just puts out a Lackey and vialed in a Goblin Pile Driver. He could have vialed that in earlier. I mean, I'm sorry, later. Like
he could have vialed it in at the end step if he wanted to.
Doesn't really matter here, but leave his options open. So it looks like Vial ticks up. Looks like he's trying to decide how he wants to do this.
He's going to cast a Matron.
Okay, so here's what he's doing. Casting Matron, getting...
It's a Goblin Chieftain.
Goblin Chieftain, and he's going to vial that in.
He'll actually... 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12... This is enough to kill Todd if there's nothing that Todd can do. If he doesn't have a Violent Outburst.
That'd be pretty impressive.
If he doesn't have a Violent Outburst and a Elder Spirit Guide, Todd's actually dead on the board right now. Yep.
And there it is. Progenitus does not beat the Goblins. Not enough. The Goblin Horde overwhelms him, and that was really impressive. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
That's one of the more fun things about Goblins is even when they look completely outmatched, they can overwhelm you.
The Pile Driver can really help you catch up, and the changes that some people have made is they've gone away from Goblin War Chief and gone to Goblin Chieftain, because both of them provide haste, and the cost reduction from Goblin War Chief isn't really that big of a deal anymore, just because Legacy has changed so much. That the +1/+1 that Goblin Chieftain provides is actually just much more useful. And in that game, if that was Goblin War Chief, it would not have won.
Yeah. Very, very good.
Looking at the Goblin deck list that Chase is playing right now, This is an interesting take on Goblins. Most of the time you see Goblins being either black-red or green-red. The black typically for a card like Perish, a card like Warren's Weirding, something like that, or green-red for 10th Street Hooligan. Chase is blue-red, and he has Goblin Flectomancer, as I said, but he also has 2 Force of Wills in his sideboard, which there's no way Todd's going to see that coming if he's able to put that combination together. He also has a couple Red Elemental Blasts that he can sideboard in to counter Show and Tell. And he also has a Chalice of the Void that he didn't see at Hypergenesis from Todd. But if he had seen one, you know, he would obviously board that in and just set it on 0 so that Hypergenesis can't resolve. There's also 4 Mindbreak Traps in this sideboard, which isn't very effective against Todd's deck because Show and Tell is only 1 spell.
Right.
Cascading and Hypergenesis is only 2 spells, so it won't be active. But we may see him board that in as well. You're not really sure.
Looking at Todd's list, I don't think he's going to make many changes. His board is Leyline of the Void, Leyline of Sanctity, 4 of each. 3 Dismember, 3 Terracodon, 1 Ingot Chewer. So, if anything, maybe bring in the Dismembers just to upgrade like Force of Will. I don't even know, because if he's not expecting like the Force of Wills out of Chase's deck, I kind of wonder what he would even want to keep his Force of Wills in for.
Well, I think
he can still keep it just to protect his combo.
I think the way that Todd's going to play this, he's probably going to Force of Will in just so he doesn't lose to like a turn 1 Goblin Lacquer or something like that.
Yeah, that was
and get overwhelmed.
Other.
But he has 4 Misdirections in his sideboard, which aren't going to be of much use at all.
You mean in his main deck?
In his main deck, excuse me. So I think he'll probably board those out and probably just move in a couple Dismembers, as you said, just so that, you know, stems the bleeding, doesn't get himself killed.
Right.
And then I don't think there's too much else that Todd needs to change. Leyline of the Void is not useful here at all.
Most of his board doesn't do very much.
Yeah, it's not really going to do anything. He might bring in a Terracodon.
I was thinking like that's like the only arguable non-dismember card that he might bring in. Yeah, the misdirections I think are the first ones to be cut before the Force of Will. Mostly Todd's deck is all about just casting a Cascade spell. And that's really it. Or Show and Tell,
Yeah, or
as
Show
we
and
saw.
Tell.
Show and Tell's it's actually more of like a backup plan if you can't.
I mean, I still think that Todd is like heavily favored in this matchup just based off of what both decks do. I feel like game 1 was kind of an anomaly. If Goblins is going to beat this kind of deck, that's how they have to win every time.
Just overwhelming.
Overwhelm them, and it has to involve a pile driver. You know, if he doesn't draw a pile driver or matron for a pile driver, he's not going to win. And the reason for that, in addition to, you know, he has to overwhelm him, is because he doesn't have access to Warren's Weirding. You know, Warren's Weirding is a card that could have got him out of that situation.
Yeah.
But because he's splashing blue and not black, every game that he's going to win is going to involve pile driver plus a bunch of dorks and get in as fast as I can for as much damage as I can before you kill me.
Did we see any blue producing lands out of Chase last game?
We didn't see any that game, but he does have 4 Volcanic Islands, and he also has 4 Cavernous Souls, which can tap for blue for
the Flectomancer. The reason I ask is because, you know, Todd may be assuming it's mono red, or that maybe he's splashing black. You know, because splashing blue is just not something that Goblins tends to do. So.
Yeah, I mean, if Chase actually does draw Force of Will and a blue card, it's going to be a gigantic blowout.
Yeah.
Now, like the chances for like the percentages for him to do that in his deck is very low because he only has 2 Flectomancers in his main deck, he has 2 Force Wills in his sideboard, and then 2 more Flectomancers in his board, so there's not a lot of blue cards that he can draw. But if he's able to put that combination together, it's going to actually ruin Todd.
Yeah, Todd's gonna cascade into Hypergenesis and then go, what?
Yeah, he's just gonna go, pardon me? My spell is what?
Where'd you get those Force of Wills?
Yeah.
Did you just pull that out of my deck?
Judge, can I get a deck checklist? Can I get a deck list check? Because there's no way this guy has Force Will in his Goblin's deck or Goblin Flectomancer. I'm not willing to believe this.
Yeah.
And Todd being on the play is also, I mean, it's pretty important. Obviously, playing First and Legacy is a pretty big deal, but Todd has 8 Spirit Guides, Simeon and Elvish, to just like power out his guys. He can cast a turn 1 Hypergenesis or a turn 1 Show and Tell. You know, I feel like Todd lost that game because he was on the draw that game.
Well, yeah, I think just being behind with the, you know, one more turn swinging with Hypergenesis obviously would have done it.
Yeah, just being behind ever so slightly.
Sting Scourger may come into play, or may be relevant this match, depending on what exactly what creature Todd gets into play. But I gotta say, whatever happens, I really like Chase Ballard's list.
Chase has a force in his hand.
All right.
This could be so awesome.
I would love to see that. So, turn one Vial from Chase. I wonder if Chase had any relation to Jaya Ballard. She's a red mage.
I find it likely.
Yeah.
I actually think that they're probably related.
He may have learned a lot from Jaya.
Maybe cousins.
Could be.
Maybe distant cousins. Chase has not only a force, he has a red elemental blast. I can't tell if it's one or two, so he's shuffling his hand pretty fast, but he also has a pile driver in his hand. So he's actually for what this matchup is about, he's actually fairly well set up against Todd's deck.
Except for the fact that I don't think he has much aggression beyond the pile driver, which is not really great by itself.
Yeah.
Todd, just some fetch lands, and looks like he's going to go for something here.
He's moving in.
All right, he's...
Oh, suspendo.
Oh, he's actually suspending Hypergenesis. That's not something you expect.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, wait a minute, it has something else on it? Doesn't just get cascaded into?
All right, all right.
The suspend cost on that is green 1, and it's 3 turns.
He missed his
line drop, or his...
I think he missed his Vial trigger.
Tick up. Oh, yeah.
Playing a little too fast.
Well, we already know he may... Well, he needs a blue card for the force, right?
Yeah, he needs a blue card for the force, which he doesn't have. And
Oops.
that might come into play. He's fumbling around. He's definitely a little nervous in the box.
It's all right. Take a deep breath, Chase.
Yep. It's just a game of Magic, I promise. Todd doesn't bite.
All right, Todd with just a land. Chase does nothing with his turn besides accidentally drop a lackey on the
Pretty
table.
surprised that he did not just cast
play the lackey
that turn. And
yeah, not paying attention. He's getting a little.
Yeah,
little
he's all over the place right now.
So now he vials in the lackey. Hypergenesis ticks down to 1. All right, Chase, you have to draw a blue card this turn.
Yeah,
and remember,
you need to draw a blue card.
And he does not draw a blue card. Oh wow! Well, he had to have played the first 2 matches.
This is his first. This is his first event. Okay.
Wow.
All right, that makes sense. That makes sense. This is his first event.
Warren Instigator, put into play via the lackey.
It's got the pile driver into play. Well, Instigator.
I'm sorry. Instigator was from Vial. Lackey attacks. I thought it was just a little bit of confusion there.
Sure.
So, okay. So Chase has some pressure on board. Todd, though, looks like Hypergenesis is about to resolve. Gristlebrand, Mog War Marshal.
This is going to get ugly, just so that you know.
Well, Todd did put Progenitus into play last game and this game. And
this is going to get ugly.
Oh
fast.
no, all his creatures have haste. That is the Maelstrom Wanderer from Plane Chase, that last card that Todd just put into play. So Todd puts into play Gristlebrand, Progenitus, Maelstrom Wanderer. All Todd's guys have haste.
Why don't you go ahead and explain what Maelstrom Wanderer does again?
Maelstrom Wanderer is just a 7/5 with the...
Oh, just a 7/5?
Just a 7/5.
Okay.
It's a vanilla 7/5 besides giving out all his creatures haste. So it's a 7/5 haste. All Todd's creatures have haste. And it also, when actually cast, has Cascade. So it cascades twice when actually cast. But it wasn't cast, it was just put into play. So those Cascade triggers are not relevant. Todd paying some life here.
He activated a big Grizzlebad.
Yeah.
So he's got 7 fresh ones, 8 cards in hand total. And the reason he had to do that is because he can't get all the way in for lethal this turn, because Maelstrom Wanderer is just a 7/5 ground pounder. It doesn't fly or anything.
Right.
He's got plenty of blockers between his Mog War Marshal tokens and all the other goblins in play.
Yeah, Chase has the ground covered.
Yeah, let alone Goblin Pile Driver can just block it. So.
Right, and live, yeah.
Todd's at 10 right now. He's going to go back up to 17. The interesting thing here, though, is once again, just like in Game 1, the Pile Driver has a million friends to be able to get through, potentially...
And deal a lot of damage. He could do 17, maybe.
Yeah, those last 17 points of damage.
Right, looking right now...
oh, no.
Oh, what's happening?
He's going deeper.
He's going to 3.
I need more. I think he's trying to find an Emrakul to be able to finish him off with. Yep.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So that's a really cool interaction. Like, that's a really cool angle that most Hypergenesis decks don't have. Is, you know, Todd suspended Hypergenesis, put it into play, or suspended it originally. The original Hypergenesis resolved, and he had all of his mana to use that turn. So he activated Grizzlebrand because he needs to just find a way to get in those last points of damage through haste. Now, obviously, he can't put in another Grizzlebrand because it's legendary, or the Progenitus, so he needed to find an Emrakul, and this is going to have, besides everything else that Emrakul does, now it has haste as well.
This is, like, ridiculous.
And so those final points of damage that Todd's looking for, I think we just found them.
Yeah, he just Hypergenesis every creature in his hand into play, including Emrakul, 3 Elvish Spirit Guides, a Simian Spirit Guide, 2 of the new Cascade guys, Shardless Cascader or whatever his name is.
Put the Forcible face up on
Shardless
the
Agent.
table. No.
Oh, no.
I'm really hoping Todd didn't see that. I want him to get Todd with it so bad. Oh my god.
So apparently what it takes to beat Goblins is Grizzlebrand, Progenitus, Emrakul, Maelstrom Wanderer, 3 Elvish Spirit Guides, a Simian Spirit Guide, and 2 Shardless Agents.
Not to mention 2 Hypergenesis.
Oh yeah, you gotta cast it. You gotta resolve 2 Hypergenesis. So Goblins a pretty good deck.
So
you
when I
guys
said
better ban Goblins.
when I said that Goblins is the best deck,
clearly
I'm pretty sure I'm right.
you need several legends to
Since
deal
it
with
took all that and a bag of chips to take care of business.
I didn't even see the bag of chips. He must have just Todd just showed it and Chase scooped
Yeah.
that. That was okay.
I went like
Off-camera
95
bag
with
of
the bag of
chips.
chips reference. There has to be an update to that, right? Like, what's a snack that people like that's not a bag of chips?
Bag
though?
of chips is still good. I
Like
think.
a bowl of chili? Is that a thing?
I mean, all that in a bowl of chili.
All that in a hot dog? All this is proof is that I'm just a
trying
fat
to-
moron because I just love food.
Trying to think of. I think it's all that in a touch screen.
What? What?
I'm trying to think of relevant technology now, you know, because bag of chips is still
All that
good,
in
I think.
all that in an iPad with a keyboard?
All that in an iPad. Oh yeah, all that
Bang.
in an iOS update or something.
Bang.
You know?
So as our show director told us, this is Chase's first tournament, like actual first sanctioned constructed tournament. So
At least that's the rumor.
so he is already 2-0 and a little fidgety in the box playing against Todd, someone I'm sure he reads his articles, is very familiar with who Todd is and the things that he's accomplished. And he's going to a third game against him.
Yeah, going to
So-
third game, being a scrappy Goblins deck.
Yeah, he's
Scrappy Goblins
putting
player.
up a battle.
I like it. Like it a lot. This is a great way to start the Legacy coverage day, I think.
I mean, we get to see Todd's sweet deck, which I absolutely love, and I get to watch Goblins. And
I'm loving this Goblins list.
let me tell you, if one of Todd's spells gets Force-willed,
I hope
I might
Todd didn't
do
that.
push-ups on camera.
Yeah,
but there's going to be
we'd have to move the camera. I think.
No, we
Unless
gotta just
you-
do them right on the chair. I'll do them right on the table. Like,
Okay.
I will just do a
some
celebratory dance for you guys. And I've got rhythm. I've got soul. I do. And I saw that Chase had left his pyrokinesis in. I'm hoping he recognizes that those aren't going to be very good against Todd now after he's seen what Todd's deck does, and he kind of moves those. He kind of moves those to the sideboard. Not really sure what else is going to be a better option for him to bring in, but I think he'll probably notice that this isn't really the angle I want to take to try to beat Todd. 4 damage isn't going to kill Grizzlebrand or Progenitus.
Looking at Twitter here, seeing what you guys are saying.
I like that comment by Aiden O'Connor.
Yeah, actually, the Red Elemental Blast could have destroyed that Maelstrom Wanderer.
Yeah, to make sure that the guys didn't have haste. It
Yeah.
would have shut off the haste and would have given him another turn to potentially draw something
Yeah,
to be able to
that's-
win.
That's absolutely true. Good call, Aiden O'Connor. Uber Goose.
Uber Goose?
That's his
It's a good nickname.
Uber Goose US.
Friends with the Strangle Right Goose?
Strangle Right Goose.
Did I say right?
you just
Did I say
completely
Strangle Right Goose?
Yep.
I'm gonna take another sip of this coffee.
Creases
actually.
Rice, Cedric. Come on.
Cheese and rice. What am I doing? Why did you guys hire me? Typically, what I've been told is that for broadcasting, day 1 goes like pretty smooth because you're wide awake. Then day 2, the wheels just fall off. I'm living proof. Wait until round 6. Oh my god.
I don't know. This is I love Legacy. It's you could say it's a blast.
I'm gonna
Red Elemental Blast.
Blue Elemental Blast.
Blue Elemental
Lightning Blast.
Yeah.
What's that?
Both mulliganing.
Mulligan.
Todd's like, I need to protect my combo since I just saw Force of Will.
I
hope
he
Todd
didn't see it. I hope he didn't see it so bad.
9 rounds.
We got a 9 rounder today.
257 players here, I think, is the number. 9 rounds.
If you like Legacy, then you should definitely stay tuned.
258. Okay. That was off by 1. Close enough. So this is round 3 of 9. So
they're both taking a mulligan. It looks like they're both going to 6. Todd's deck probably mulligan's better than we give credit for. And Goblins mulligan's okay. I'm kind of a Legacy aficionado. If I had to have a choice of format, Joey, it would definitely be playing Legacy all day, every day. As we get to the action, Aether Vial is in play. You know, obviously Chase would love to start with Goblin Lackey against the combo deck like Todd's, but was not to be. Does Todd have a giant monster to put in play? We have a. You know what we have coming here?
I haven't been able to see exactly what's coming. I see some Spirit Guides. I see a Cascade spell. I see a Force of Will. I see a Progenitus. I believe I see a Gristlebrand as well. Warren Instigator from Chase off of Cavern of Souls.
You smell that? No?
No.
I smell a turn 1 Violent Outburst coming. I do.
Turn 2, you mean? Right?
No, turn 1. Turn 1. I think Todd's gonna gamble.
You think?
He has a land.
End of turn.
Yeah.
End of Chase's turn.
He has a land. He has two Spirit Guides, and he has a Violent Outburst. First Progenitus, for a Violent Outburst, and a Hypergenesis for his Progenitus. Oh, I smell it. Oh yes, and it smells good.
Wow. So there it is. End of your turn. I'm gonna Violent Outburst. And Cascade. What's that Todd boarded out Hypergenesis?
Yeah, what is he doing?
My God, it's Carnage! Sorry.
Where are you?
Maybe he did board out Hypergenesis. What? Wait, how many cards?
Literal zero chance.
Oh my gosh, where are my Hypergenesis?
There we go.
There it is.
So this is a little bit risky.
Chase is like thought scour you, and it's like
this is a little bit risky, okay? Because I mean, Hypergenesis, Chase gets to put all his goblins in play as well. So if he has goblins in his hand, you know, anything like revolving around a pile driver or matron, anything like that, they're gonna be in play because all Todd has is Progenitus.
So I assume there was no Force of Will and blue card there for that Hypergenesis. So Progenitus. Ringleader comes into play, so they have to finish resolving the Hypergenesis.
They have to finish resolving Hypergenesis.
The Ringleader, right.
There will be no shenanigans with Mr. Ringleader. So if you have any other goblins or lands, just put them all in play, Chase. Yep.
Goblin
that's
Chieftain.
a gooder.
Okay.
If he hits a matron or a pile driver, you can actually steal this game.
Another Chieftain. Another Instigator. This is all at the end of Chase's turn 2.
Does he have another goblin in his hand? Does he have a land and anything?
Oh, that was a Dismember that I thought may have been Gristlebrand that Todd has. So Todd just has Dismember.
Oh my gosh, Todd has Force of Will. Todd has Force of Will and the... Is that a Dismember?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's unable to counter anything with Force of Will right now. There's a Warren Instigator, Viled in. Tap 3, Goblin Chieftain number 2. Goblin Chieftain number 2.
Is this enough to kill him?
Well,
3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18, 19. That's 20.
Wow.
If he kills Instigator, I think if he kills Instigator, he takes 4, he goes to 15. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. If he kills Chieftain...
Come on, Chase. Come on, Chase.
Chieftain,
Sorry, Todd. I have to apologize to you right now, but I'm rooting for Chase.
If he kills Chieftain, he goes down to 15. He takes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yep.
So he kills Chieftain.
Yep.
Goes to 15.
He goes down to 15, and this is enough to deal him 13.
So that's going to be 4, 8. Is that
Siege Gang Commander. He gets him at 2.
I don't
And
know.
then one swing from Big Daddy.
Oh, Todd, why? Todd, why do you have to do that to the poor guy?
Todd, it's his first tournament. Could you just lay off a little bit?
I know. Just get
Any
come on.
remorse
You
for the
had to
newcomer?
kill his goblin chieftain?
That was pretty insane.
That was
actually.
pretty insane.